There is a quiet fear that creeps in when I think about love. A kind of empty space in the background, too subtle to always notice, but deep enough to feel. It's the fear of never being loved. A worry that no matter how much I give or how hard I try, that kind of love that I dreamed of might just never find its way to me. There's this invisible standard set by movies and stories, by the glow of other people's connections that make it easy to wonder, what if I'm somehow just not enough? Or what if I am enough, but love is simply out of reach, as if some people are destined to miss out on it. Today I want to talk about a topic that I think is so prevalent in today's society, and that is the fear of never being loved. I think that you can be in any phase of life and still feel this, whether you've never been in a relationship before, or you just got out of a relationship and you think that you won't find anyone else that will love you the same way that that person did. This fear is such like a heavy feeling. It's like this deep pit in your stomach that no matter how many times someone's like, don't worry, love is out there, you will find love, it just doesn't get better. Like that weight just isn't lifted off your shoulders. So I'm first gonna talk about two very prominent times in my life where I've deeply felt this feeling. The first time is during my teenage years. I would say between the ages of like 14 to 16, okay? This is when, I'm consuming a lot of rom-coms, and obviously media depicts love as something that is necessary. Something, especially as a girl, that you need to have, you need to strive for. And I just remember during this time, like I would just write in my diary, I just want a boyfriend. I just, I want to experience these feelings that this movie is talking about. I want to feel like I'm in a fairy tale. And the second time that I experienced this is after my first relationship. There is something about like a first heartbreak that completely just destroys you. Like I don't know why. I was like, I dated my first boyfriend for like 3.5 years, but after my first breakup, I literally went insane. At that point in my life, I was fortunate enough to have not experienced grief before. So that breakup felt like grief. That breakup felt like the loss of someone in your life. I went a little bit crazy, and I think during that first breakup, that's when I just felt like I will never find someone that loved me like this person did. I think now I'm in a better place with it. I'm newly single, and so many of my friends are in relationships right now. I am constantly third wheeling, but I think I have adopted a much healthier mindset and attitude towards love. Let's stop yapping and go into the tips that I think are really important, are really useful. Tip number 1. Know that this is such a common feeling. You are not original, okay? And I mean that in the most loving way possible, but your feelings, your emotions just aren't original. Like, it's genuinely just everyone experiences them. They might experience at different times than you, but everyone experiences them. These feelings can feel so isolating and feel so heavy and such like a burden on yourself that you feel like no matter how much you talk to your friends about it, they just won't understand. But you are not alone. At the end of the day, you just tell yourself, it sucks right now. It's okay for it to suck. I'm gonna let it suck for a little bit, but I will be okay. And at the end of the day, this is gonna make me a better person with better insights, with more life experience, and this will make me become a more compassionate and empathetic person. Tip number 2, it's not about finding the right person, it's about becoming the right person. During these times when you are so focused on romantic love, on finding your prince charming or your princess charming, you just get so consumed in what other people can do for you, how you can find someone that makes you feel good, that makes you feel validated, that you just forget about your own development. And I think by putting some of that responsibility onto you actually helps because it gives you a sense of control. For me, as like a type A control freak about everything in my life, that helps. Because I think that the thing about love is that it's such an uncontrollable experience, uncontrollable feeling. Like no matter how bad you want it, if it's not in your life, you can't just make it appear in your life, And that loss of control on that aspect can be like really detrimental and you're just like spiraling. So by putting some of that responsibility onto yourself of, I will find the right person when I become the right person and do things to improve myself to make me a more interesting person, a kinder person, a more generous person, someone with more integrity. And it really shifts this like crippling fear of love into something that's motivating, something that is just better for you in the long run. And this is one of my favorite quotes that encapsulates this. If you spend your time chasing butterflies, they'll fly away. If you spend your time making a beautiful garden, the butterflies will come to you, and if they don't, you still have your beautiful garden. I remember one of my friends told me this quote at a time when I actually desperately needed to hear it, and it just really helped because there's like this paradox about happiness, like the more you look for happiness, the less you're able to find it. And I think that it is adjacent to, you know, how someone can describe love. Like the more desperate you are, the less likely you're gonna find the love of your life. But the more you focus on yourself, pour all that love you've been wanting someone else to pour into you onto yourself, the more abundant of a person you are, and that's what attracts people at the end of the day. It's important to know that there is nothing wrong with who you are. That is such a silly thing to think, okay? But it's such like an easy default way to think as well. You don't need to change yourself as a person, okay, to find love. Like, let me give you an example. I have never been into casual dating, okay? Like the hookup thing, I've never really liked to do. So there was this boy in college, you know, but he like reiterated to me that he did not want to be in a relationship. He was just not in the mindset. But me being, you know, the silly Lindsiann that I was, thought that he could change his mind. And I think that that's actually a very common, like almost fantasy or trope for girls, or at least my girlfriends. A girl's ultimate fantasy is that they will find a guy that changes for them, like only for them. Like the ultimate fantasy is like this frat boy, right? That's like a player that loves to like hook up and stuff. But once he meets you, he changes and he becomes this super romantic guy and does all these things because you are the special person that he needed to stumble upon to change. Anyways, back to my story. He wanted to basically just like casually date. I think at that time, like I did not have that much self-confidence or self-esteem. I was convincing myself, oh, like I should just hook up with him or like really casually see him and compromise on what I was comfortable with just to feel loved. Yeah, don't do that. At the end of the day, I didn't do that. And that's one thing that I respect myself for, that I never compromised on what I thought was right. The point of the story is that I think for a while I thought that I was in the wrong for wanting a relationship. The next tip, rushing into love never turns out good. Okay. Another personal anecdote. So in my last relationship, I think now looking back, when we first started dating, we were both in the mindset of we just wanted a relationship. We just wanted to feel love. We were two lonely people. I think that your desire to be loved can cloud your judgment a lot of times in how compatible a person is for you. I think it's much better to wait for true and authentic love than to try to force it. Because at the end of the day, love isn't something you can control. And I think letting go of that control is the first step. Focusing on what you can control, which is yourself, me, myself, and I, is a much more liberating feeling. Okay, now that we've talked through all of these tips about love, where do we go from here? Like what tangible steps can we take to get to where we want? Because it's like Lindsiann, I picked up running, I picked up pickleball. I think I'm in a pretty good place, but I still want a relationship at the end of the day and I want to put myself out there. How do I do that? And the answer is the sponsor of today's video, and that is Hinge. Hinge is a dating app designed to be deleted. I'm sure everyone has heard about Hinge already, especially if you're in your 20s and you're single. Now that I just got out of a relationship, I am still focusing so much on being single and cultivating my community here in New York. But I also want to, you know, get back out there, have fun experiences, meet new people. I think going on Hinge days is honestly just such a fun and essential part of like your 20s. I've had like the craziest stories from Hinge dates and just meeting these people that I otherwise never would have come in contact with. But I think what I've learned from Hinge is that you need to just meet up in person. This is my hot take, okay? I think texting someone before meeting up is just meaningless. Like I hate updating a random stranger about how my day was because I don't know you, like we don't know each other. This conversation is literally meaningless right now. Unless you just set a date, meet in person, see if you guys fit each other's vibes, and then go from there. But how do you decide who to just go on a date with? And the answer is Hinge prompts. The reason why Hinge is so unique is that they have prompts. These prompts are like golden nuggets of personality that tell so much more than any picture would. And I think it's really important to utilize these prompts effectively to achieve whatever outcome you want to. So my current problem is that I have yet to go on a date yet. In the past 4 to 5 months, I've just been scrolling on Hinge, talking to some random people here and there, but honestly, all the conversations are just really meaningless, and I'll go more into why later, but I think my prompts just are not really reflective of who I am as a person. Like, we just talk about really random, shallow things and don't cut through all the small talk. And you know, my prompts aren't really thought-provoking right now. Let's look at my Hinge profile. This is my profile right now. We have a little selfie moment. Green flags I look for. Pickle lovers. I love pickles. I put pickles on everything. I pickle everything myself. I love pickles. My basic information is here. We have a cute little smiling picture, you know? I feel like I tend to not smile in my pictures, so I want to look approachable. I want to look warm. I have a really nice picture of myself, I think, in this one. I am someone that likes to explore new places, but this outfit's also really cute, so I'm someone that likes to dress well and explore new places. A random fact I love is cows moo in regional accents. This one is definitely a conversation starter. I think most people reply to this one. You don't know how many conversations I've had about freaking moos. Okay, everyone loves to talk about a cow and their moo. Another picture of me in bed. I don't know what I'm filming here, but I look good. If loving this is wrong, I don't want to be right. ASMR eating videos. Genuinely, like, my entire Instagram Explore page is filled with ASMR eating videos. Another smiling picture. Everyone looks good when they smile. I think that we can utilize the prompts better to really showcase who I am more, set my intentions more clearly. So I want to change the ASMR eating video one to this year. I was thinking a lot about what to change for this prompt. I think that there can be a lot of different options. This year I really want to find the best chocolate chip cookie in New York City, because there's a lot of debate on which one's the best one. This year I really want to be surprised. This year I really want to be more present. Let me know which one of these you guys like the best. Hinge prompts are honestly like an art. You have to keep them a little bit witty, a little bit flirty, a little bit funny. It's a lot to juggle. But if you guys are looking for love right now, I really want to encourage you guys to try out Hinge and to try it out more seriously, to really put some effort into updating your profile, to having it represent you, your goals, your intentions, your personality. Hinge is going to be linked down in the description below. Join me on this platform. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video and resonated with what I said. Let me know your guys' thoughts on this. Let me know what advice you guys have, and let me know what you guys respond to for your Hinge prompt. This year I really want to, but I really appreciate you guys watching the end of this video. This has been a really long, yappy video, but these videos are one of my favorite to make because I feel like I'm truly connecting with you guys. I love you guys. Thank you guys so much for supporting me. And as always, I'll see you guys next time.